Well, you pull out and you shoot 4 times.
Yeah, the gun jammed.
Oh, the gun jammed.
Yeah.
This the footage Durk's people allegedly never wanted back in the streets. Lil on camera, saying he popped Vaughn 4 times. Herbo admits watching his man's fall broke him. Now Durk facing life for the get back. Body cams leaking. Why now? Who pushing this? And what message they sending? The night that changed the game forever. Yo, this is the footage the internet was never supposed to peep. Clips that Lil Durk's people allegedly never wanted hitting the timeline again. Videos that word on the street was getting passed around the group chats low-key before they blew up everywhere. And right in the middle of all this smoke is Lil, the dude whose name is forever attached to one of hip-hop's most controversial street situations. Because what you're about to hear, straight from Lulu Tim's own mouth, don't just reopen old wounds. It flips the whole script on the emotional energy behind the night that changed Chi-Town rap forever. And the wildest part about all this footage ain't just pop up out of nowhere. It ain't leak on accident. And according to folks close to the situation, it was dropped on purpose, right when the heat around Lil Durk was already at 100. Yo, the streets of Atlanta were lit on November 6th, 2020. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning when everything went left. Outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge, 2 crews were about to crash into each other in a way that would shake the entire rap game to its core. What jumped off as a random run-in between ops would spiral into years of sliding federal indictments, and now wild footage that keeps popping up years later. To really get why this whole situation is so crazy and why Durk's people keep dropping footage about Lil Tim, we got to break down who all the players are in this tragic story. King Von, born Devin Coyne Bennett, was a rapper from Chicago's infamous O Block neighborhood. His bars painted pictures of that street life, pulling from his own real experiences running with a gang and dealing with violence. Van wasn't just some regular rapper. He was Lil Durk's day one, his right hand, and a star on the rise in the drill scene. By the time of that wild night, Van had just dropped his debut studio album, Welcome to O Block, which hit number 5 on the Billboard 200. But Van's past was hella complicated. FBI documents would later connect Vaughn to multiple violent situations, including allegations that he put 100 racks on rival rapper FBG Duckhead. His lyrics weren't just storytelling. A lot of folks believe they were straight-up confessions over drill beats. On the other side, you had Quando Rondo, a Savannah, Georgia rapper signed to NBA YoungBoy's Never Broke Again crew. And rolling with Quando was his homie Timothy Lulu Tim Leaks. These 2 squads have been eyeing each other for a minute with online dices, and subliminals creating mad tension between them.
Well, you pull out and you shoot 4 times.
Yeah, the gun jammed.
Oh, the gun jammed.
Yeah.
After the 4th shot?
Probably like the 3rd shot.
That's Lil himself chopping it up in an interview years later, breaking down the moment that would change his whole life. According to what he said, after the stick jammed, all hell broke loose.
But after you start shooting, all hell breaks loose. There were off-duty cops in the area, and they start shooting.
Right.
You end up getting shot twice?
Right.
Well, what parts of the body?
I get shot in my right hip bone, and I get shot on my ass.
The scene outside that hookah spot was straight chaos. No cap. 6 people caught shots, and 2 didn't make it that night, including King Von and O Block affiliate Marcus _Munoz, who got dropped by off-duty police officers. The off-duty cops had stepped in when the gunfire started, and in all that confusion in the dark Atlanta night, slugs were flying everywhere. Now, here's where the footage situation gets real. Body cam footage from Atlanta police hit the net in November 2024, showing the wild shootout, 12 yelling commands, shots ringing out through the night, suspects dipping, and a white Ferrari getting mentioned in the audio. The frames show a nighttime scene with whips, shadows, and people in jackets. While there ain't no direct visuals of Lil getting hit, the subtitles catch police responding to shots fired and man with a gun. This footage has been going viral on the socials with accounts like Kid and Rich and Ray 33 pushing it heavy with posts stacking over 9,000 likes and 2.7 million views. The captions linking this footage straight to Lil Durk's murder for higher charges claim it shows an O Block affiliate shooting at LUL Tim before getting smoked by police. But why does this footage hit so different? Why do Durk's people keep posting it? To answer that, we gotta understand who Lil Durk really is and what King Von meant to him on a personal level. Lil Durk, born Dirk Derek Banks on October 19, 1992, is known as one of the most influential voices in the Chicago drill scene. As a founder and head of the Only the Family collective, Durk built his empire from the trenches of Chicago's South Side. His pops got locked up for life on drug charges when Durk was just 7 months old, leaving his moms to raise him through financial struggles that sometimes meant there wasn't even enough food on the table. Durk's come up from Englewood to Grammy-winning status was marked by personal losses that would break most people down. His brother Defon got killed in 2021. His cousin Nusky was taken in 2014. His manager Chino got hit in 2015. And then in November 2020, he lost King Von, the artist he personally signed, mentored, and treated like blood. When you look at it from Durk's perspective, the pain is almost too much to comprehend. Here was a dude who had already lost so many people, watching the footage of his mans getting killed in a street altercation. And the dude who squeezed, he walked free. Lil Tim caught a murder charge, but got released on a $100,000 bond in March 2021. The charges eventually got dropped in August 2023 after prosecutors said it was self-defense under Georgia's Stand Your Ground law. To the legal system, Tim ain't do nothing wrong. To Durk and his squad, this was some foul stuff that needed to be addressed. Herbo, another Chicago rapper who went to school with King Von, talked about how devastating it was watching that footage.
How difficult was it for you to watch him get murdered on video?
It broke my heart, for sure. Like, I don't really be, like, emotional for real. Like, I'm so numb to death, I'm not a stranger to it because I've been experiencing it my whole life. But, like, when he died and seeing that like, it really, like, you know, I'm getting emotional right now thinking about it.
That raw emotion, the anger, the grief, the feeling of being helpless, helps explain why footage about Lil Tim keeps getting posted by Durk's affiliates and fan pages. Every share is a reminder. Every post is a statement. This beef ain't over. Not even close. To get back in the Fed case. The streets got a long memory. You feel me? In the world Lil Durk comes from, debts always get paid. What the legal system called self-defense. The streets called smoke that needed to be returned. And according to federal prosecutors, that return came with bodies. On August 19th, 2022, 5 mass shooters lit up a gas station near Beverly Center in Los Angeles, letting off 18 or more rounds at Quando Rondo's whip. The target was Quando Rondo himself. Get back for what happened to King Von almost 2 years before, but Quando didn't catch none. Instead, the bullets found his cousin, Sabalo Baby Robinson, who got killed and hit. Surveillance footage of this whole thing has been posted everywhere online. YouTube channels like Rap Daily been uploading videos with titles like new footage of Lil Durk killing Quando Rondo's homie. The footage shows the shooters pulling up and then bouncing from the scene, a mishit that would end up being the main piece of a massive federal case. On October 24th, 2024, Lil Durk got booked in Broward County, Florida on federal charges of conspiracy to commit murder for hire using interstate facilities for murder for hire, resulting in death, and having a machine gun during a violent crime. 5 members, Kayvon Grant, DeAndre Wilson, Keith Jones, David Lindsay, and Asa Houston, got indicted right alongside him. The federal complaint paints a wild picture. No cap. Prosecutors saying Durk funded the hit using F-bread, including flights from Chicago to San Diego and Los Angeles hotel rooms and straps. They claim Durk put a bounty on Quando Rondo, seeing it as necessary payback for Vaughn getting killed. Lil Zio Sama, another Chicago rapper, talked about how he felt when Durk got knocked.
How'd you feel when Durk got locked up, though?
I ain't gonna lie, Durk a good bro. You feel me? A cool, smooth bro. Take care of his people, folks. So, you feel me? It's just like one of them things like, damn, bro. I hope bro come from under that, you know what I'm saying? I can't imagine how he feel right now being at the top right now,
Yeah.
like, and to go in, like, in that moment, like, that, like, you know? But, you know, bro gonna come back on this, out on this shit. He gonna do what he needs to do. He gonna come from under that.
The timing of the arrest was extra rough for real. Durk was at the absolute top of his game. He CPP'd a Grammy in 2024 for All My Life featuring J. Cole. His albums were consistently hitting #1 on the Billboard 200. He had just dropped Deep Thoughts in 2025. Everything he had grinded for, everything he had built up from the mud in Englewood was suddenly on the line. But here's what makes this case even crazier, the footage situation. In March 2021, word got out about an alleged drill on Lil Tim's crib while he was on house arrest. The story goes that goons slid through and started blowing through windows, and Tim had to dive for cover. Police supposedly found customized shells linked to F-plugs. While there ain't no actual video footage of this that's public, and mad YouTube videos with titles like leaked footage are actually capped with no visuals, the incident itself was seen as F's first major slide after Tim got out on bond. Then came the March 2023 shooting in Savannah, Georgia, where Lil Tim reportedly caught between 4 and 10 shots but survived. While there's no public footage of the actual shooting, Tim later showed up in a music video for Left a Stain showing off his scars and celebrating his dropped charges. He spit about his lawyer, about making it through, about being underestimated. Affiliates on both sides shared this content to either clown his survival or celebrate his resilience. The sharing of this footage serves mad purposes. For Durk's affiliates, it's about boosting street cred, keeping their fallen homies' memories alive, and maintaining the narrative of ongoing beef. These shares stay circulating on platforms like X, Instagram, and YouTube with captions implying continued threats. Lil Durk himself addressed the underlying tension in a podcast interview, breaking down why the beef runs so deep.
Listen,
The whole situation that happened with Quando.
how we live and how we go by our and I'm speaking for the whole Chicago. You ain't there. Shut the fuck up. You weren't there. So you made a diss and said something about Vaughn. That's why I don't with you. You ain't did. You did zero.
The logic here is straightforward. No extras. From Durk's perspective, NBA YoungBoy wasn't even on the scene when Vaughn got killed. Yet, he inserted himself into the situation with diss tracks. Durk sees this as disrespectful, as getting clout off his homie's death without even being there. When asked about the industry perception that he's using the beef for promo, Durk kept it even more real.
What did he do?
Well,
What did YoungBoy do for everybody want me and him think we want to kill each other?
okay, I'm giving. And by the way, I know the young boy fans to be wild. I'm not representing his opinion. I'm telling you what I think his opinion is. I think that because of that incident, which was very unfortunate at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, it's changed everybody's lives irreparably.
Yeah, that's everybody else. Like.
That admission that everybody up shows the human cost underneath all the tough talk. Lives been destroyed, families been torn apart, and the cycle of violence keeps claiming victims on both sides. As of January 2026, Durk been sitting in a hole at MDC Los Angeles for 131 days after they caught him with an unauthorized Apple Watch, limiting him to one phone call a month and no commissary access. His lawyers arguing this violates federal regulations and the Fifth Amendment. The trial, originally set for January 20th, 2026, got pushed back to May 2026 because of how complex the evidence is. Over 30,000 pages, including wiretaps and financial records. In February 2025, Lopab's mom filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Durk and F in Cook County, going after damages for the devastating loss of her son. The civil case mirrors the federal charges, adding another layer of legal problems for the Chicago rapper. The bigger picture, and what's next for the culture. This whole story is about more than just two dudes, more than just leaked footage, more than just a rap beef that went deadly. This is really about how music, street life, and the digital age all crash together, where every single moment can get captured, posted, and turned into a weapon. Federal prosecutors have been calling F an association, in fact, enterprise involved in violence, including bodies and assaults to keep their status and handle their scores. They're using Durk's bars, his social media moves, and what his affiliates been doing as evidence in a case that could have him locked up for life. Attorney Manny Aurora, who represented Durk before in a 2019 attempted murder case in Atlanta, broke down how prosecutors move in these types of situations.
And the thing about Atlanta is, and that's one of the knocks I have with our DA, everything's either a RICO, as you learned from the YSL case, or everybody's a gang member. If you've got a tattoo and you hang out with a couple other folks, you're in a gang. That's just how it works. And the reason we do that in Georgia is if you can imply to the judge that there's a gang connection in your indictment, the rules of evidence relax a lot.
This legal play using gang enhancement charges to make convictions easier to get has been getting more and more common in cases with rappers. But it brings up some uncomfortable questions about how the lines between spitting bars and criminal evidence have gotten all blurred up. G Herbo dropped probably the realest perspective on why cats like King Von have such a hard time leaving street life behind even after they make it.
I feel like, I'm not even gonna feel like this is the truth. It's just like, when that in you is in you. Like that just, it's easy for you. Like you gotta work harder on not doing something to somebody than anything else. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I think you feel like when you know what you're capable of and you feel like somebody playing with you, you would just do something. Like you would just make you.
How you let them play with you?
The psychological reality is real talk. For young dudes who grew up surrounded by violence, who learn from jump that being strong means never backing down. Switching to a normal life is damn near impossible. The fame don't change who you are at your core. The money don't erase the survival instincts that got burned into your brain from years of living in war zones that look like regular neighborhoods. Herbo kept going, explaining why Van specifically couldn't just walk away from it.
Bro, I ain't on this no more.
It's like it take a little minute to adjust though.
Okay.
It's not like a snap of a finger.
Okay.
Like Von wasn't a millionaire for years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he still was
He was
fresh
still trying to
and
stack.
coming out the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he getting his money, he doing what he doing, but it take you a long time to really process that this is my life.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like naturally he really still a street. So he gonna react like how a street react.
That breakdown cuts straight to the heart of this tragedy. King Von had only been eating for about 2 years when he got killed. He ain't have time to adjust the process that he could actually escape the life that made him who he was. So when confrontation came, he reacted the only way he knew how, and it cost him everything. As for the ongoing sharing of footage, the pattern serves mad purposes in the digital age. For affiliates and fan pages, every share of footage related to Lil Tim or the King Von shooting is a reminder that the beef ain't over, a flex of street cred, a form of psychological warfare, a way to keep their fallen homies' memories alive. Recent updates as of January 2026 show that Durk's trial got pushed to May 4th, 2026 with a pre-trial conference set for April 13th. Prosecutors planning to call cooperating witnesses a reality that is affiliates sharing footage and making posts about rats with increasing frequency. Durk's mom has publicly said that fewer and fewer people have been showing up to support him at each court date. His wife, India Royale, keeps pulling up, but the dwindling support speaks to the isolation that comes with federal charges is heavy. The question now is what's going to happen next. If Durk catches a conviction, he's looking at life behind bars. Prosecutors originally wanted the death penalty, but dropped it in June 2025. Either way, his career as we know it would basically be wrapped. A tragic ending for someone who represented hope for so many people in Chicago. If he beats the case, the beef continues. The footage going to keep circulating. The diss track's going to get more intense, and the next tragic chapter in the saga becomes inevitable. Lil Z Osama probably put it best when he was talking about how folks from Chicago are perceived.
But you know, certain people from Iraq, like, they think out of town be put, like they think out of town, they take, you know, it's killers everywhere, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You be thinking like, man, we'll do the same thing, bro, you feel what I'm saying? But that's just crazy, bro.
The footage that they keep posting ain't just content. It's evidence of a wound that won't heal. Every body cam clip, every surveillance video, every social media post about Lil Tim is a digital scar marking a conflict that has consumed lives, destroyed families, and now threatens in the career of one of hip-hop's biggest stars. At the end of the day, this story is a mirror reflecting the darker corners of American culture back at us. It shows how trauma creates more trauma, how violence leads to more violence, and how even success and racks can't break cycles have been spinning for generations. The footage going to keep getting shared. The comments going to keep flooding in. And somewhere, young cats are watching all of this go down, learning lessons that nobody should have to learn. That's the real tragedy here. It ain't just about Durk or Van or Tim. It's about all the young people who peeped this story and taken its message. That beef never dies, that loyalty demands blood, and that the only way out of the streets is in a casket or a cell. Maybe, just maybe, this story can serve as a warning instead of blueprint. But looking at the comments under every piece of footage, seeing the way fans celebrate violence and mock the dead, it's hard to be optimistic about that. The clock is ticking toward May 2026. The trial is coming, and the footage keeps circulating. What happens next? We're going to have to wait and see. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.